Hey, this is Gary Kay. We're here to InfoComm 2023. The show floor just opened, and the first booth I'm stopping at for the 23 show is Epson for obvious reasons. Gavin Downey, Group Product Manager for Epson. How are you doing this morning?
Gary, it's great to see you as always.
I know, it's 2023, back to kind of normal, right? We're excited. And part of being back to normal is always Epson having something in the front of their booth to show off projection. What are we looking at here?
So it's a pretty exciting exhibit. So basically what we have is a interactive display, and it has a keyboard where people can come and play the keyboard, and it's kind of custom tuned so you won't sound terrible.
I'm going to have our videographer walk around and go look at it.
Great. So it's kind of custom tuned so you won't sound terrible, and you can play, and then basically what happens is the chords themselves excite a ferrofluid over to the right if you want to come on up and take a look. And it excites a ferrofluid, and then it actually, using one of our 4K dot cams, it will shoot the ferrofluid and then project and embed that in the imagery. So it's fully immersive. It's leveraging 4K dot cam technology, our 30,000 lumen projector with an ultra short throw lens. So an amazing solution for rear projection theater and things like that, and big, large displays like this. And it's augmented by a 20K, so 50,000 lumens, interactive, using a dot cam, a 4K dot cam, and ferrofluid that's excited by the chords that the user plays.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, obviously from a company that also makes printers, you can figure out how to do this.
That's exactly right, and I mean, even moving over to the next display, you can see we're really integrating fine art photography printing with projection. So you'll notice here we've got 20,000 lumens, portrait, very difficult to do, precisely projecting onto that screen. And what you'll notice to the right is that's actually printed on an Epson fine art photography printer, and then we're projecting onto the print. So really combining sort of core technologies here at Epson. Our technologies are all precise, compact, and efficient. And when you start to get those technologies to work together, the results are really amazing, especially in the hands of really creative companies. A company named Blockhouse Media created all this content and worked very closely with us on this booth.
All right, so I want to shoot that again. That right there is printed on the wall, and then it's basically projected on top of it, so it's like image mapping on top of a printed image?
Exactly, and it was basically, we learned this from an artist that we worked with in the Bay Area up in San Francisco, and they were doing amazing things with printing and then projecting on the prints, sort of achieving this really interesting, sort of almost ethereal quality.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what projectors, so these two projectors are doing the projection for both of this?
Yeah, exactly. One is doing the projection on print, and then one is projecting onto the image over there, both in portrait, EBPU 2220 black. So pretty amazing projectors, fully filterless, NFC enabled. They have mechanical shutters, liquid cooled, just pretty much stunning technology statements.
One thing I am noticing here, and I have to be honest with you, this is the blackest I've ever seen LCD black look. I mean, it looks like y'all have nailed it's like 3LCD has come to perfection all of a sudden. You always look great, but I'm seeing blacker blacks than I've ever seen before. Is this something that I'm seeing because of the screen that you're using, because of the projector that you're using? What am I seeing differently here? This just looks like pure black.
No, I appreciate the comments, and I think you're right. That's just a basic screen, which is amazing. I mean, we are in other parts of the booth using lenticular ALR light harvesting screens that are dark gray, and they really pop. But this is really, just to your point, this is just to demonstrate how far 3LCD's come in terms of contrast. And, you know, we're winning a lot of shootouts with this new gear, and it's competing very effectively in fairly bespoke areas of the industry.
Yeah, and so in the booth we have the sort of impressive displays, but then you have your products where you want to show what you're able to do. Over here. All right, we're going to follow Gavin's lead here. Oh, wow, look at this. This is another image mapping demo. Here, pull over here so that the videographer can see it. I'm going to steer you wrong, Gary.
So we just talked about compact, precise, and efficient, right? Like a lot of engineering. And then this is really a statement on durability. So this is a building in Carmel, Indiana, and they use 12 of our 20Ks. And it's not a temporary installation. This is a permanent fixed installation with architectural projection.
So this is a miniature duplication of what they did.
Exactly.
And Which projectors did they use? The same ones?
No, that's a great question. So they use 12 of our 20,000 lumen, put them in Tempest enclosures, and it's a permanent installation in Indiana, which has challenging weather, right? So, it's really just building on the innovation and really layering on a level of durability and, quite honestly, just stunning, right, appearance. So this is a 3D print of a building in Carmel, Indiana that goes live in August.
That's amazing. And so the projectors are outside all the time. That's why they're in Tempest enclosures. This is going to be a great test too, right? I mean, I know you're confident, but at the same time, it'll be a really good test because that's 4 seasons in Indiana.
That's exactly right. And I'm confident, but we learn, right? Yeah. It's through these partnerships with artistic collaborations and outdoor projection mapping that really feeds our roadmap, right? And helps us improve the products. And that's something we've been doing for years and years and years.
Yeah, this is amazing. So where are we going next?
So I think this is pretty interesting display over here.
I am glad we came first thing in the morning, but yeah, this is cool. So you're just demonstrating all your lenses.
Well, it's not even all the lenses, right? So the fact is, our lenses have been the same since like 2016, and these are all the projectors going back to 2016. All the different models that you could use with that very same lens.
Very creative.
Yeah. Again, like the company we're working with, Blockhouse, does a fantastic job, and I just think it's a really interesting thing, right? A lot of large schools and universities, like University of North Carolina. They have lenses in projectors, hundreds of them in some cases.
They don't want to have to replace every time they replace a projector. And also rental companies appreciate that.
Huge with rental companies, absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of brands have had to change their lens every time they go to a different resolution.
A different resolution, different platform, right? And that's something that we over-engineer the lenses so they can stay the same, right, for as long as we can possibly.
I remember 10 years ago y'all telling me that's what you were going to do because no one had done that before. And you even said to me at that time, our lenses are 4K ready. Yeah. And I was like, I don't understand what that means because, how would you know that since you haven't built a 4K projector yet? But that's interesting. So that's the same lens from 2015 you can use now.
Exactly, and that's all our projectors. I think that's a great segue. We can go over and look at our new 4K projector too, if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do it. And is this a native 4K projector or 4KE?
So what it is it's 16:9. It's putting up 8 million pixels, which is 4K. It is a shifter, so it's shifting twice, and that's what most of the folks in this lumen range do, right?
And this is 8 to 20,000 lumens?
That's a great question. So it's 8, 10, 13, 16, 20. So a large range of full 4K projectors. We're going to launch just after the year, right? Probably spring, summer of next year. And we're showing early prototypes here, but it's really stunning image quality, right? Because when you think about the combination of full 3-chip color and better than standard WUXGA resolution, we've been doing 4KE for years, which is twice WUXGA. And now we're going all the way up to 8 million pixels.
Yeah, so this is the EB-PB series, which is new.
That's exactly right. Now it'll be called the EBPQ, right?
Okay. That's right. PQ series. That's right. And when will this ship?
We're looking at April, May, but we'll see. This is kind of an early production sample or early engineering sample, but real stunning image quality, combination of higher resolution and full 3-chip color across the range. Pretty exciting for us.
And you've also gone to a new video processor called Crystal Motion. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about that real quickly and kind of explain the difference between that and what you had before?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great question. So whenever we bring something to market, we don't necessarily want to be first to market. We want to be best to market, right? So we really looked at how is shifting being done and could we improve upon the way in which shifting is being done. So as you know, like everything we build is precise, compact, and efficient. We actually build all the watches for Seiko. So the way in which we're going to shift, we believe, is much more precise than the way in which other players in the industry have been doing for years.
Although I think a lot of companies just shift based on refresh rate, and it's just a calculation based on every whatever number of seconds or partial seconds, I guess you'd say, or I'm actually not sure the exact term, but I know that it's more of a mechanical process than looking at the image, analyzing the image, and then shifting based on the content on the image. And I believe that's what Crystal Motion is doing.
Well, I think with Crystal Motion, it's definitely, we are very good at precise mechanical motion, right? So you're going to see us come to market. We'll be able to talk a little bit more broadly about it when it launches. But yes, it's going to be an incredibly precise approach to pixel shifting in order to put 8 million pixels in a 16:9 resolution on the screen.
All right, so we'll hear more about that. What's next? I don't. Yeah, all right, good. Where are we heading? Oh, here we go. All right, so this was a hugely popular product at ISE, obviously, and this short throw box is, I don't know, give us the specs here. The 810E is how far away from the wall and how big of an image can we get?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's 0.16. So you can throw an 80-inch image from 1 inch away from the wall. So it's a very, very short throw. We call it extreme short throw. What's also stunning about this product, laser 5,000 lumens, which 5,000 lumens from 100 yards might not be that, but 5,000 lumens from 1 inch is very bright, right? So it's you can actually adjust when you're installing it. Let's say your wall's a little bit wavy. There's an app on a phone that will allow you to correct for any kind of imperfections in the wall. It's just a stunning technology statement. Crisp, edge to edge, incredibly bright, 0.16. It'll go all the way up to 160 inches. I believe that's about 14 inches from the wall. So really capitalizing on the combination of laser-driven brightness, extreme sharpness through app-driven adjustment, and just incredible short throw.
I think a lot of people would see an application for this where you wouldn't even have to have a screen, where you could just project on the wall.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think what's interesting about this is it's truly mobile, right? You see, like in a lot of classrooms, people are wheeling around large panels. It's a little sketchy, right? You don't want to be wheeling around a 70-pound thing that's kind of perched precariously. This is a really great mobile solution. It's a great solution on the wall. We've got it mounted over here compared to a 75-inch panel, right? Where, a lot of classrooms, you just got more students. There's a lot more content up to be displayed. And it's we believe it's sort of a game changer in terms of mobility and image size.
Yeah, this is interesting. I've never seen an LCD in your booth.
It's
a flat panel.
No, I agree. It's pretty interesting.
I didn't even notice it until you just pointed out. Like side by side, they have a flat panel LCD, which obviously they don't make. So it's a statement.
So yeah, when you come back, right? I mean, with classroom sizes, the number of students increasing, and the amount of content. I mean, you've been talking about the digital canvas for years, Gary, and we think that's what's coming, right? And we're listening pretty closely.
More pixels on the wall is what I want. More pixels on the wall. Speaking of which, I don't know your Brightlink. I don't know if you know, but your Brightlink 770, I think IF won the Reader's Choice Award for the year.
That's exactly right, and that's it. So we're really excited about that, and we appreciate all the rave viewers out there and voting for it. It's amazing. We're very proud of that award.
And that line, interestingly, started aimed at the educational market, but it's moved into the corporate market.
It has. I mean, we see them used all over. We see them used in higher education. We see them used in training. We see them used in corporate market. It's a very versatile solution. And now that it's laser driven and 4,600 lumens, it's bright. You can beat back a lot of ambient light. We've got the Rave Award right there, and it's right next to our brand new PowerLight L. We've doubled WUXGA resolution in a fixed lens projector, and it's 7,000 lumens.
Look how small this is. That's a 7,000 lumens projector that's small enough to fit into a backpack.
And the MSRP on that's what you would typically pay for a really nice lens.
I'm stunned. I mean, I remember spending hours converging a CRT projector that was 700 ANSI lumens, and you couldn't move it without 2 or 3 people. That is amazing. 7,000 ANSI lumens in that form factor.
It's really wild. I mean, we just keep investing in engineering to make everything, smaller, more precise, and more compact. And we really think by miniaturizing it, we're going to change how laser-driven displays can be used in the world. And a lot of people think they stay the same. They're a plastic box, but there are very few technologies. Our 20,000 lumen weighs like 57 pounds. 4 years ago, it weighed 147, right? And if you start to think about what that means, if it continues that way, if we continue to invest and continue to engineer things, we really think the future for projection's bright. Pun intended.
There you go. What about at ISE? You showed a 21:9 Microsoft Teams application using projection. Do you have to have that here at the booth?
Of course.
Let's take a look at that, because I think that is interesting, because I think the default everyone thinks for 21:9 has been LED or LCD, but in fact you're showing a full conference room in 21:9. Go ahead and go inside there.
I mean, I think that's exactly right, Gary, and I would just say
nails on the bottom, which makes it feel like you're talking to each other. There. That's the
and
on the bottom.
in this case,
21:9
all-in-one system.
image.
You've got a projector.
Sorry.
You've got I think that's the Jabra Panacast
Exactly.
50 system
And a
camera and a what mount is that?
Mount by Heckler.
Heckler mount.
Yeah.
And you're showing it in the full Microsoft Teams room, front row configuration, certified.
That's exactly right. And you'll notice there's a lot of ambient light in here, and it's just stunning imagery. I mean, incredibly bright, very, very sharp. And, I mean, that's the trend. That's why you do see a lot of 9 products out there on the market today. That's where we're going. Again, harkening back to what you were talking about.
Larger digital cameras.
That's right, and it's digital canvas. But I mean, when you really start to think about large images, you need to think about the practicality, integration perspective. How are you going to wheel those around? How are you going to store them for replacements, right? And we really think that projection, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, right, is going to be a meaningful contributor to corporate America sort of moving in that direction.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, you bring up a really good point of how you're going to get this around the building if you decide to do something that big. Well, look, I really appreciate this. Of course, everything is at Epson.com. We're going to go around now and actually shoot individual product videos at each one of these product stations so you get more in-depth specs and details about each product. You can find those videos at ravepubs.com/infocom. Just type in Epson in the video search window. Thanks for joining me, Gavin. Thank you.
Thanks so much.